My name is Michael Barnes, and in 1971 I was a Member of Parliament in the British House of Commons on the Labour Party side. Well, I got involved partly because of Bangladeshi people I knew in the UK who briefed me and made sure that but it was impossible at that time in the UK not to know about what was happening in Bangladesh, because the news was coming out all the time, and people were well aware of the suffering and the slaughter that was taking place. And I became involved because I am a great believer in the right of peoples where there's a defined culture, geographical integrity, and the will of the people. If all those things are present, then the right for self-determination should be theirs. I went actually with a small group of 4 people organized by War on Want. War on Want is a British overseas aid charity. And we went, yes, certainly, to visit the refugee camps right round the borders of Bangladesh. But we also wanted, and I wanted as a politician, to find out the political situation, to understand it. We had a meeting with the Prime Minister in exile, Tajuddin Ahmed, and members of his government in exile. We then flew round the other side to Agartala to see the condition of the refugees there. And while we were there, we also met General Usmani and his freedom fighters. So it was, we were trying to cover both aspects. Nearly everybody who could see what was happening at first hand was clear that the only way this situation could end, would be for Bangladesh to become a new independent nation. And for that to happen, the freedom fighters were very courageous and were fighting wonderfully. But it needed, it needed the intervention of India. And indeed, it was in India's self-interest to intervene rather than to have this happening on its borders. But world opinion needed time to come round to the view that this was the only outcome that was possible, a new, independent, free Bangladesh. So I think there had to be a diplomatic offensive, if you like, throughout, covering world opinion, particularly the West and NATO countries, and the United States, of course. Britain, I think, was a bit uncertain at first how to react, but gradually became convinced. And Edward Heath's government and the Foreign Secretary, the former Prime Minister, Sir Alec Douglas-Home, they were very supportive when it came to the Indian intervention. The kindness and the hospitality, the generosity of the Bangladesh government, who have looked after us so well, and the organization has been brilliant of the visit. And the staff assigned to look after it after us have been so attentive and efficient. We could not have wished for anything better. And the program itself is most moving, particularly, as I said this morning, the wreath laying at the National Martyrs Memorial, and all the other events. And I think for the recipients of the awards, it really has been a most emotional occasion.